Police raid at Michael Sandlana House. You won't believe what they found. Police raid at Michael Sandlana's house. What authorities allegedly discovered could shift South Africa's political landscape. At dawn, under the cover of early morning silence, law enforcement vehicles reportedly lined the street outside the home of Michael Sandlana. Within hours, images of officials entering and exiting the property began circulating across social media. By midday, South Africa was asking one question: what exactly did police find inside? This was not just another search operation. According to reports, the raid was conducted as part of an expanding investigation linked to broader political and financial allegations that have been building for weeks. Sources suggest that authorities executed a legally authorized search warrant at Sandlana's residence, signaling that the matter has moved beyond rumor and into formal investigative territory. The implications are serious, not only for Michael Sandlana personally, but for the political figures, institutions, and networks allegedly connected to him. Michael Sandlana has recently become a controversial figure in South African political discourse. While details surrounding his alleged role remain contested, his name has been linked in media discussions to sensitive matters involving public funds, political alliances, and possible misconduct. Authorities have not publicly disclosed every detail, but reports indicate that the investigation involves multiple agencies. The raid reportedly took place in a high-profile residential area, drawing public attention and immediate media coverage. According to sources familiar with the matter, the operation was carefully coordinated and carried out under strict procedural guidelines. No official conviction has been announced. At this stage, these developments remain part of an ongoing investigation. While law enforcement has not released a complete inventory of seized materials, reports suggest that investigators removed several items from the property for further examination. These allegedly included electronic devices, documents, and financial records. According to sources, authorities are particularly interested in digital communications and transaction trails. If verified, such evidence could provide insight into whether there were irregularities connected to public contracts or political arrangements. However, it is critical to emphasize that allegations remain unproven. Investigators are expected to analyze all materials before drawing formal conclusions. The intensity of the operation suggests that authorities believe the material collected may be significant. Yet, as of now, no official statement has confirmed wrongdoing. South Africa's political environment is already under heightened scrutiny. Following years of corruption inquiries and public commissions, trust in institutions remains fragile. High-profile investigations often trigger intense public debate and partisan reactions. If the allegations surrounding Michael Sandlana are substantiated, the consequences could extend beyond one individual. Political analysts note that such investigations often reveal broader networks rather than isolated actions. The timing of the raid is also notable. South Africa is navigating sensitive political transitions and coalition dynamics. Any development involving alleged misconduct has the potential to influence public confidence and electoral sentiment. Authorities have maintained a measured tone. Officials reportedly confirmed the execution of a lawful search but declined to provide further details, citing the integrity of the ongoing investigation. Political leaders have responded cautiously. Some have called for patience and due process, emphasizing that allegations must be tested in court rather than debated through speculation. Others have argued that transparency is essential to restoring public trust. Legal experts note that a search warrant typically requires investigators to present sufficient grounds before a judge. This suggests that law enforcement believes there is credible information worth pursuing. Still, a warrant does not equate to guilt. The reaction across South Africa has been swift and polarized. On social media platforms, some citizens have described the raid as a necessary step toward accountability. Others have questioned the timing, suggesting political motivations may be involved. Analysts warn against drawing premature conclusions. Public confidence hinges on the fairness of the process. South Africans have witnessed high-profile investigations before, some resulting in convictions, others collapsing due to insufficient evidence. The credibility of this case will depend entirely on what investigators can substantiate. If prosecutors determine that sufficient evidence exists, formal charges could follow. That would shift the matter from investigation to court proceedings, where evidence would be tested under cross-examination. If no charges are filed, the political damage may still linger. Reputations can be deeply affected even by allegations alone, particularly in the age of rapid digital dissemination. At this stage, none of these outcomes can be confirmed. The investigation remains active. South Africa's democratic institutions have faced intense scrutiny over the past decade. From inquiries into state capture to debates over institutional independence, accountability has become a defining issue. If handled transparently and lawfully, this investigation could reinforce confidence in the rule of law. If mishandled, it could deepen divisions and skepticism. Experts argue that the key factor will be procedural integrity. The public is watching closely, not just for what was allegedly found, but for how authorities manage the process. Perhaps the most striking aspect of this unfolding story is the silence from key figures. As speculation intensifies, official statements remain limited. This vacuum has fueled widespread debate, but investigators appear determined to control the flow of information. In high-stakes political investigations, silence often signals sensitivity. Whether this case ultimately reshapes careers or fades into the background will depend on evidence, not emotion. As South Africa reflects on yet another headline-grabbing raid, one reality remains clear. The country is at a crossroads between suspicion and proof. What was taken from Michael Sandlana's home may hold answers, or it may reveal far less than many expect. Until formal findings are presented, the facts remain under review. But one thing is certain, this investigation has already become a defining political moment. It tests institutions, it challenges narratives, and it reminds the nation that in a democracy, even the most powerful figures can face scrutiny. The coming weeks will determine whether this story marks the beginning of a major political reckoning or a cautionary tale about the power of allegations in an era of instant judgment. South Africa now waits, watching closely, as the truth moves from whispers behind closed doors toward the light of public accountability.